Yeah, sure.
Cheetahs my chance. Cheetahs my chance.
Away,
Featuring Van
away,
Roy,
Tibo. Are you
featuring
good,
Charlie
bruh?
Mingus. Eh, our guest for the evening, Van Roy. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, Sepang, aka Charlie Mingus in the house.
I'm
Sepang.
telling you, Lani.
Yeah, no, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for the invite, Tibo.
Ladies and gentlemen, football is back. After the international break tied to steal our joy, and the real game has returned. Not
Yeah,
that
sure.
international nonsense that we saw with the World Cup qualifiers, friendlies, and all that fun stuff. Ne? The passion, the drama, the goals, and all the
Exactly.
chaos. And trust me when I say it did not disappoint. Welcome to the midweek recap of the show. I'm your host, Tibulava Ultra, holding it down tonight while Lebu is doing some big things at Emperor's Palace. If you're
Yeah,
in or
yeah.
around the vicinity, just jump in and go see for yourself. We see you, King. Yeah, sure. And as always, I'm joined by the man who sees the game before it even happens. The analyst, the tactician, the truth teller, everyone's favorite stepfather, except Android.
Away. Ciao, Fede. Tibo, you know what? It feels great to be back after a very, very long weekend that we all had. And you know what, ne? This week's return, it showed us goals. It showed us play. Goals were flying in. Statements were being made. And title races just keep heating up at the moment across the board in all top leagues. But yeah, guys, this is Let's Argue, Let's Get It.
Yeah, sure. Charlie Mingas, are you ready? Hey, we haven't had a
I'm
guest
ready
in a
to go,
minute, eh?
gents. I'm ready to go.
We haven't had a guest in a minute, eh, Fandroid? You can
Yeah,
tell
it's
this one
true.
is biased, eh, Fandroid? Just by looking at his red shirt, you can already tell this one is biased.
Have you?
Without any waste
What
of
do you
Red
time,
mean,
let's
flag.
jump
Tibo?
in. I'm telling you, bruh. I'm telling you,
Red
bruh.
flags.
Red flag, Lani. I'm telling you. And without any waste of time, let's jump into the Betway Premier League action now. We saw Amazulu and Skukune playing to a 4-goal thriller. This was
Yeah.
absolutely scintillating. At Princess Makogo Stadium, the drama was absolutely guaranteed as Amazulu and Skukune United played out to this thrilling draw. Now, on two occasions, Amazulu fought back,
Yeah.
Amazulu actually thought that they had the game, but on two occasions, Skukune United fought back and made sure that they were going to be counted to at least get a point out of this matchup. Except Van Roy.
Yeah, it was a story of resilience. It was Sekukune showed serious character. They really, really played. But for Amazulu, it just feels like a 2 points that they dropped, and especially with the top three ambitions on the line. So it was quite hectic for them, but they tried to stay in the game.
Yeah, they did their best. They did their best, but I don't know. What's your perspective? Is it 2 points dropped or 1 point gain?
It's a punk. What do you think? Do you think it is a point gained, or do you think they could have went for all 3 points?
No, I definitely think when it comes to Amazulu, right? It's 2 points drop because I feel like being in the top three is definitely one of their objectives. Based on how things have transpired throughout the season, they would like to be in the top three. So it's definitely 2 points dropped for Amazulu, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah,
So I think we all agree there, Van Roy.
yeah.
Considering
It's true.
especially that these guys were at home. But moving right along, we had Orbit College, yes, the fly-by-night college, entertaining the Glamour Boys, Amakosi. This game, gentlemen, ended in a 3-1 victory for their wayside Kaiser Chiefs. Now, this was a statement win from Kaiser Chiefs, gentlemen. This is 3 wins in a row, and they have dreams of getting back to CAF competitions. And listen, they are alive and they are kicking. Except Charlie Mingas.
Um, well, my opinion on that game is I feel like if I was a betting man, right, I would put my money on Kaizer Chiefs to win that game. I don't think most supporters had expectations of uh, Orbit College, or as you call it, Tibo, the Fly By Night College. No one thought they had a chance in that game. You know, I don't know what you think about that, Roy.
So this is basically the Chiefs that we have been waiting for. They are
That you
building
have been waiting
momentum.
for.
Yeah, they 3 wins in a row. For them, it must be very, very big. They are building momentum, they're building their confidence, and they're showing that look, we've almost lost our structure and identity, but they're peaking at the right time. And if you look at it, if they stay consistent and they stay serious contenders basically for continental football, that's all I'm gonna say for now.
Yeah. There's still a lot of games to play, but I think
Yeah.
this turnaround from Kaiser Chiefs, I think, is very much warranted. And I think from a neutral standpoint, I think everyone wants to see Kaiser Chiefs fighting to be at the top of the log instead of being there at the bottom. Now, moving right along, gentlemen, we saw Richards Bay entertaining Stellenbosch. Richards Bay said, "Enough is enough," ending their losing streak and taking down the red hot Stelly's side. Except Van Roy.
Yeah, this was massive for Richards Bay. Winning at home in front of their fans. It was basically a massive result, and not just for morale, but also for survival. And if you look at it, they show like they're a team that is basically fighting, and they're grinding out results. They are winning matches, and this is what matters the most. I don't know about you, Tepan.
No, I agree with you, Roy. Uh, winning at this point in the league phase is, I what I like to say to my friends is that at this point of the league phase, every game should be like a
Yeah,
final. So you can't afford to be dropping points at this point of the league phase. So it was definitely uh, good for Richards Bay to get the 3 points, especially playing at home.
yeah, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely, gentlemen. Definitely, gentlemen. At this point of the season, you really can't afford to be dropping points. Every game really should feel like a final. And I think with 8 games left, really everything is really going to go down to the wire. But moving right
Yeah.
along, we had a 5-star performance by the Sea Robbers. Orlando Pirates entertained
Eish.
Golden Arrows at the Amstel Arena, gentlemen. Amstel Arena 5-0. 5 goals without reply. These are champions elect, gentlemen. Orlando Pirates. What did we just witness? Extra
I
challenging us.
No, I was, I hate to say it, ne, but I was not surprised considering Orlando Pirates' recent performances. They've been scoring goals for fun, if you ask me, in the recent games. And whenever that boy Relebogile Mufukeng is on the field, it's like they're playing with an extra man on the field. They have an advantage against most of these teams. So it was definitely a wonderful performance, but I was not surprised. I expected the Sea Robbers to win.
Yeah, for me, that was a statement win. It's quite simple. They were clinical. Pirates was ruthless. They were dominant from the first whistle. And two standouts for me, it's Mofokeng and that boy Apollos. They were basically running the show. And this is a team that believes they can win the title. And if they continue with that mentality, I forget it. Sundowns must wait.
Yeah, now just on that, Van Roy, ne? If you are Sundowns, if you are Mamelodi Sundowns, are you looking over your shoulder?
They are definitely.
They have
Yeah,
to.
gentlemen, then after this, we saw Makesi entertaining Marumo Gallants. Listen, down at the bottom, Makesi are fighting for their lives. Van Roy,
It's basically survival performance for me. They playing survival football. But when you're in a relegation battle, you are gonna treat every game like a final, and it's not about playing pretty football. You don't wanna look nice and what. you grind out that result, and it's all about results at the end of the day. And for them, a 3-0 at home, it is huge. Uh, Tsepang, what do you make of that match?
No, definitely, especially fights and relegation. I feel like um, it's also, if you are the coach of the club and the club is fighting relegation,
Yeah,
these kind of games are the games that keep you at the club and keep you uh, what's the word I'm looking for? It keeps your job for you basically. So definitely that 3-0 win was a much needed win for them
Yeah,
and for the coach
yeah, yeah,
more than everyone else.
yeah, yeah. This is like, you know, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
sort of like Arne Slot there by Liverpool, but we leave that for later on.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Gentlemen,
okay.
we saw Devon City entertaining the defending champions, Mamelodi Sundowns. The Brazilians, gentlemen, look like they're going to do everything to retain their championship. Now, Sundowns keep on doing what Mamelodi Sundowns do, and that is
Yeah,
to win and to keep winning again and again and again and again. That's 10 in a row, gentlemen. 10
it's a lot.
wins in a row. Van Roy.
It is quite a lot if you ask me. They are showing elite mentality, and even when it's a tight match, pause. But even when it feels uncomfortable for them, they still find a way, and that's why they are on the pause. That's why they are
Bro,
on
we
top.
can't say, bro, we can't say
Pause.
anything. Yo,
You
we
can't
can't
say
say
anything in
anything,
this
bro.
life and time without
Everything
saying
now
pause.
goes high, bro. This just has to stop, man. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it really has to, bruh. Like, yeah, it really has to. But anyway, 10 in a row for Mamelodi Sundowns is massive. They're gonna try and wanna keep that momentum, but I hope Pirates disrupt everything. I don't know about you, Tsepang.
Um, gentlemen, Sundowns are showing why they have separated themselves from the rest of the clubs in this
Sure.
league. It's this kind of mentality that gets you 5, 6, 7, 8 league titles in a row. And I feel like everyone else is just playing catch up at this point. You know, they have all the quality players, or most of the quality players, and they're proving that through their performances. And you can't argue with results. And they have been consistent in delivering results, and that is what wins titles. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you think.
speaking about winning, we saw Chipa United entertaining Siwelele. It ended in a 1-0 win for the home side. Chipa United finally break their winless run. Van Roy.
Yeah, it's an important result for them. Just like Tsepang said, results is the only thing that matters. You cannot argue with that. That buffer from relegation is everything. It means the world to them. At this stage of the season, it really means a lot to them, and I hope they can keep up the momentum. What do you make of that match, Tsepang?
No, definitely, Roy. It was a much needed win for Chipa United. And I also feel
Yeah.
like Siwelele also had hopes of possibly walking away with the 3 points, but unfortunately, it was not their day. Chipa United were the better team on the day, and they walked away with the results.
Yeah.
And then the last match of the round, gentlemen, we saw TS Galaxy succumbing to defeat against Pulukwani City. 2-1 was the scoreline. Pulukwani City quietly are building something.
Yeah, it's something very, very quiet, but in the building part is there. They showed organization, they showed discipline, and they were effective at the end of the day. And that's a team that basically knows who they are, where they're coming from, and where they actually want to go. Tsepang, what do you make of that match?
Uh, no, definitely. Polokwane City is definitely building, but I feel like it was a poor performance from TS Galaxy, considering the fact that they were playing a home game. against
Yeah.
the Polokwane City team that is building, as you said. So I feel like it was a poor performance from TS Galaxy. So I was not impressed.
Yeah, no,
Mm,
I think they need to look at something there, Van Roy. They need to go back to the drawing
to the
board and
drawing
try
board.
and find solutions. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
With 8 games remaining, I think everything, the gentlemen have said, is gonna go down right to the wire. But moving along swiftly, we're gonna get our boarding passes and we're going to the Serie A Italia. Gentlemen, welcome to the Serie A Italia. Mamma mia!
The spaghetti people.
I'm telling you, because on Monday we saw Napoli edging AC Milan, and it was a 1-0 win for the home side. I think it is official, it is a done deal now. AC Milan's title charge is over. The only thing now they can look for is to guarantee Champions League football. Juventus, on
Yeah.
the other hand, they keep pushing for a top four finish. They are 1 point behind Cesc Fabregas' Como, and Atalanta on the other end, they're also knocking on the Champions League door. So with the
Yeah.
games remaining, I think Como have it all to do to ensure they do not slip out of the
Yeah.
Champions League places.
Yeah, look, Tivo, it's gonna be difficult, and it's just gonna get, momentum and pressure is gonna be there. Serie A is a battleground at the moment. Every point matters right now. Napoli's win, what can I say about them? It's massive for their title ambitions, but even they should not slip up. Um Tsepang, what do you make of the Serie A league title race at the moment?
No, at the moment it's definitely a tight race, but I have to disagree with Tivo on a point that he raised, which was um, at the Como have it all to do. I feel
Yeah,
like Como this season have shown that um, they can compete with these so-called big teams like Juventus
yeah.
or Atalanta or Inter Milan, AC Milan.
Milan.
So in my opinion, I feel like the spectrum is the other way around. It's Juventus that have their work cut out for them because Como is a newly elected team into the first division. I don't think they've been in the Serie A first division for 3 seasons. It's their second season, if I'm not mistaken, and they are
Yes,
already
that's true.
competing for European football. That shows that says everything, in my opinion. And I feel that Juventus are the ones who have their work cut out for them. Como can finish in the sixth position at this point. It would still be a great position for a team that just got uh, elected into the first division. So
Yeah.
Juventus need to pull their socks up, Tivo, in my opinion.
You know what, nah? I agree with everything that you just said now. But apples and oranges. Would you rather play in the Europa League or the Champions League? You see? So,
Hmm.
yes, everything that you're saying is absolutely true. I do not disagree with that. But when you look at clubs like Atalanta, Bergamo, when you look at Juventus, at this
Yeah.
particular juncture of the season, they have the experience to get the job done. You see? Yes,
Hmm.
Como find themselves in a perfect position in fourth place, but they drew on Monday, right? And there's only 1 point separating them and Juventus. So that basically means for the remaining games, they need to ensure that they get as many points as possible. Or, in other words, they need to get maximum points to ensure that they maintain the Champions League spot. Listen, the whole Como story is a fairy tale. And imagine in their second season, they find a way to book a ticket into the Champions League, having not even won the
Yes.
Serie A title. That's a feat on its own, you see?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, apples and oranges. If they were to lose or drop more points, being so close, being on the cusp of Champions League qualification, I think that would hurt. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you look at the entire storyline, if you look at the whole spectrum, kudos to them for actually being able to actually find themselves in a position like this.
Yeah,
And
Neil.
then, gentlemen, after that, we move on to La Liga. We move on to La Liga, to the League of the Stars. Because on
Yeah.
Monday, we saw Girona grind out a win over the Yellow Submarine via Real. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. 3 points in the bag, 1-0 win.
Yeah, they were very effective. After a break like that, ne, it's all about results. If you're not results dribbling, if you're not goal orientated, I forget about it. But they got a job done. It wasn't about rhythm. It was about pressing forward, and that's it. They got the results, and I'm happy for them. Well done.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Charlie Mingas, any closing words for La Liga?
No, definitely. And like we said earlier on in the show, results are what matters. Despite poor football being played, you know, for lack of a better word, but they got the job done and they got the results,
Yeah.
and that is what matters.
Gents, can you hear Thank you, Mhlaba singing? It's time for the Champions League. Time for the Champions League, gentlemen. It was absolutely scintillating.
Yo.
First leg from the quarterfinals. I think everyone got exactly what they were looking for from each and every single tie that we saw. And I think it's very important, gentlemen, to highlight, that these teams are gonna do everything to ensure that they get into the next round. Now, from the screen, we can see that the first leg results went in favor of some teams and against some other teams. More especially Los Blancos, who entertained Bayern Munchen and went down to the Rotten at home at a closed Santiago Bernabeu. The Arsenal managed to get a late winner against Sporting Club Portugal, and Barcelona succumbed to Cholo Simeone once again in the Champions League. And Liverpool have it all to do after going 2 goals down at the Parc des Princes when they host the current or defending champions of the Champions League at Anfield next week. Let's get into it, gentlemen. It's Champions League football. Without
Yeah,
any waste
Neil.
of time, gentlemen, we saw a Sporting Club Portugal relinquish the entire game by letting Arsenal get the win at the death. Arsenal last minute drama, Van Roy.
Yeah, Thibaut, they showing champion mentality in Europe, and it doesn't matter how do you win. As long as you win, just win. Even if you push the ref for his foot to kick the ball in, it's a goal at the end of the day. They won that match. And yeah, big ups to Arsenal for winning that match. Tsepang, what do you make of that game?
No, definitely. I feel as though Sporting put up a good fight, but Arsenal lately have just been on, this run, man, and they're a very hard team to stop in the form that they're in, you know. So they got the result, and now they're heading back to the second leg with the lead. So Tibo, I don't know what you thought about that game.
Yeah, I think it was very cagey, but I think if you've been following both teams, then this result or the game that we saw was very much expected. The Sporting Club Portugal, they play on the counter attack,
Yeah.
they park the pass, they absorb as much pressure as possible. Arsenal, on the other hand, they look to capitalize on set pieces. I won't necessarily say that they are set piece specialists, Van Roy, but I
Yeah,
will say that, if they can get a corner, if they can get a corner, then you are in real trouble.
That's
Then,
their tactics. That's how they win
pardon?
games. It's
Pardon?
their tactics. That's how they win games.
No, but you know what, chance? I think we just need to say this as a side note. Ne? It would be a great injustice if Arsenal win the Premier League, or if Arsenal, in fact, if Arsenal win any tournament or any trophy this season because of the style of play that they have. You know, I've seen teams, play a negative type of football, or okay, maybe negative is a wrong word, maybe a pragmatic style,
Style, yeah.
employ a pragmatic style, but there was at least counter attacking in there, there was like some art in the manner in which that they executed the games. But then when you look at this Arsenal side, Van Roy, Chalmingas, there's nothing that they're good at. They don't pass the ball well, you know, they don't play well on the counter. I just don't understand what's going on. But then moving on swiftly, at a closed Bernabeu, Vincent Kompany to do something that has not been done by any other coach for the last 12
Yes.
years. And that was to go to a closed Santiago Bernabeu and get a win in the knockout stages. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but this was a heavyweight clash and it delivered every single thing. Van Roy.
Yeah. It was a thrilling match. I watched the first half only, but then yeah, that was electrifying football. That's what people went there to see. And if I could point out one name there that stands tall above everybody else, it's Manuel Neuer. That guy, the performance that he put on, the stops, the saves, it was vintage, it was elite, and it was pure world and master class. Sepang, what do you make of this game?
No, definitely, Roy. I agree with you. Manuel Neuer, had a masterclass of a performance, and another player who was quite on fire is Michael Olise, because I feel like, especially the Harry Kane goal,
Yeah,
he he was the architect of
yeah,
the whole move. He cut in with the ball, he passed it at the right time, and with players like Harry Kane on your side, and you can't drop off when you're facing players like Harry Kane as a defender. So he just did what he's good at, from that position, and that was that.
yeah. He played well. He really bossed that wing, ne? That side that he plays on. That guy was running the whole 90 minutes. But well, we give him the praise that he actually deserves. Thibaut,
Yeah, Miss Gentlemen, I just want to ask just a few questions. Ne? Is Michael
Okay.
Olise at the same level as Lamine Yamal? Number one, ne? And number two, um, do you see this Bayern Munich side seeing out this quarterfinal battle against Real Madrid in the second leg when they host Real Madrid at the Allianz Stadium, at the Allianz Arena?
uh, on my side, ne, I'm saying yes because they're going to the Alliance Stadium. Ne, you must remember, ne, that's a different atmosphere. It's going to be a different. It's like putting a dog in a lion's den, and I'm not saying that Real Madrid are swag, but
Wait,
they're
who's
gonna
the dog? Wait, who's the dog and who's the lion?
they're gonna get slaughtered. I know for a fact that it's not gonna be an easy game for either side. Both teams are gonna bring their best, but yeah, Bayern is really gonna dominate, and I think that they're gonna take out Madrid in the quarterfinals. Is Olise on the level of Yamal? I think is slightly better than him because he brings a variety of things to the table. He's not only an attacker. That guy, he can see passes, he can see runs, and he also makes those runs. So I think he's slightly better than Yamal. It's just that you know that when the spotlight is on you as a teenager, and yeah, everybody's just gonna speak about you. But then he is a good player. Sepang, what do you make of it?
Hey, Fandre, I think we lost Tepang Dave. I think we lost Tepang Dave for a minute. I think he'll find his way back on onto
Yeah,
the
yeah.
show there. But I just want to say there, Fandroy, just to add on what you said, ne, I think uh, the PR team that Lamine
Yeah,
Yamal has, ne, is absolutely out of this world. Because
true.
listen, ne, Listen, if you and I had the same PR team, I'm telling you, bro, we could even run for president, and the world would even believe that we are actually good enough to run the country, bro. But listen,
Yeah,
let's move on to the next game,
yeah,
because speaking of Lamine Yamal, we saw Atletico Madrid do what Atletico Madrid do in the Champions League every time they face Barcelona. Atletico Madrid walked into the Camp Nou and they took control, Van Roy.
yeah. Yeah, it was a thrilling match. This was monumental. Like I don't know what Kobasi did, ne? Trying to create the foul only to get sent off, and then they still score. he thought
Yeah,
that
hey.
he thought he was saving them from a goal. Kanti, that was a banger. I don't know about you, but yeah, that was a banger. It shows that technically they came there with a plan, this Atletico side, and it was masterclass from Diego Simeone. Cholo really showed us that this team has discipline. They can be ruthless, but also at the same time they can be efficient, and they got the result.
Yeah, and you know what, Van Roy, ne? I think just on what you said about Pau Kurbasi, I think what happened in that moment when he got sent off is a great advertisement for why it's better to let the attacker score the goal as opposed to letting your team play with a man down for the rest of the game.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly, and
because yeah.
it makes things much difficult because now I have to cover my position and your position as well. And you might find that me and you are running at the same player, which is Tsepang on the other end, trying to close him down, only to expose ourselves at the other end. So yeah, it was very cynical. I think he could have avoided it. Even if the goal went in, it's just one goal. It's not like they were 5-0 down and said, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel right now. So I think he could have stayed on, he could have helped the team, and who knows, the result might have been different.
Yeah, but Van Roy, we've seen Pau Kurbasi do the same thing and get sent off. At a similar stage of the campaign in the Champions League for Barcelona. With all the talent that the boy has, do you think this was a result of a lack of experience?
I wouldn't say okay, he is young, but I wouldn't say it's lack of experience. I think maybe he thought that I'm just gonna get a yellow card for this, and then I'll still be in the team, and we will go on and still fight for the maximum points. And at the end of the day, if you get a red card, it just puts pressure on everyone else. People are frustrated. They have to run twice as much. They have to work twice as hard, and that's the moral of the story. Like I think he
Yo,
shot
my man,
himself.
let me tell you right now. Barcelona and their players thought that they were playing with La Liga rules, because in La
Yeah,
Liga, they would have probably called Diego Simeone's son offside, and if the referee had given the defender a yellow card or a red card, the VAR team would have struck it off. Except
yeah.
Charlie Mingas, tell me I'm lying.
So, no, Tibo, I couldn't agree with you more. They definitely thought these were La Liga rules, and
It's
Yeah,
uh,
crazy.
yeah.
another point that I agree with you on is that Kubarsi, with that red card incident, it's definitely a lack of experience, because if you think you're gonna get away with the yellow card,
Hey, what's going on? What's going on,
a
Van Roy?
clear goal scoring
I,
opportunity,
I
and
think it's
you
DJing
think
there,
that
scratching.
you're just gonna get away with the yellow card, that's lack of experience, in my opinion. So he should have just let them score the goal. Barcelona probably would have came back or drew the game. It probably would have been a different result if they had not gotten that red card. So
Now,
Kubasi,
gentlemen, I just want to say this part, gentlemen, because I feel like we're making this Barcelona side into a much bigger monster than what they really are. If history is anything to go by, anytime Barcelona faced Atletico Madrid in the knockout stages, they've never managed to knock them out. It was actually the other way around. Every single time Atletico Madrid drew Barcelona in the Champions League, in the knockout phase specifically,
Yeah.
not only did they knock them out, but they actually went on to go to a Champions League final and face you know who, right?
15 times.
Hey, Lebza, I hope you're watching. I hope you're well there, Embarrass Palace, broski. Ask this,
I
gentlemen. I really needed
just
to
saying.
get that out. Before we move on, gentlemen, can I just get your takes? Do any of you see Barcelona turning the tie around at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium?
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. I don't wanna lie. It's going to be cagey. It's going to be a dogfight. And you know, ne, they're going to the home of Diego Simeone. That guy is gonna wear a black suit for them. He is going to
Yeah,
make sure that he prepares the casket for them. I think
yeah,
they're going
yeah,
out. I don't wanna lie.
yeah. Hey, Mingas. Hey, Mingas, can you hear us?
No, definitely, I agree with Roy. I feel like Chalo has got Barcelona's number this season. He's the only coach that has shown that he's willing to take on this Barcelona team and get a result from that. You know, a lot of teams when they come up against this Barcelona team, it's as if they're going into the game already thinking that they're going to lose. Yeah, I
Yes,
can definitely
yes.
hear you, Thibaut. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There's a bit of a delay, but you know what? As long as you are here, because
Yeah,
now we need to move on to the
present.
defending champions. Nah. Yeah, because the defending champions, they put 2 goals past Liverpool. Now, gentlemen, Paris Saint-Germain were dominant in another knockout tie where they look like they found another gear. They look like they keep getting better. Desiree Doué, he's
Ish.
bulked up this season. Desiree Doué is bulked up. He looks like a freaking monster. He looks like a freak of nature. Every time he gets the ball, he looks like he's going to dribble past every single opponent that's in front of him
Yeah.
and score. Kwicha Quaradona Kvaratskhelia has found his scoring boots at the perfect time in the season, except Van Roy.
Yeah, this was painful. I rubbed my chest again. I don't know if I need Borstal, if I need Dettol, if I need I don't know Savlon or something, but it was painful. You know what, ne? The possession in that game, ne, was out of this world. We Liverpool couldn't even get the ball. Like, how the hell do you win a match if you can't even get the ball or keep the ball when you have it? Like at some point I think the ball possession at some point was like Liverpool had 28% possession. And throughout that match, Liverpool didn't even register a shot on target. And that tells you everything. I don't know what Slot was thinking, putting 5 people at the back and then 2 in the middle and 3 in front. Whenever somebody is trying to charge in for the ball, it leaves a massive gap in the middle, and we were fully exposed. I don't wanna lie, they dominated that game. It's a pang. What do you make of that match?
No, it was a poor performance from Liverpool, in my opinion. Especially with that stat that you just mentioned, 0 shots on target
Yeah,
at
it seems
this
like there's a
stage of such. Can you hear me, Thibaut?
Oh, yes.
Okay. As I was saying, I feel as though it was a terrible performance from Arne Slot's side, especially at this point of the Champions League phase. You know, you can't be in a quarterfinal and fail to register a shot on target, you know. But I have to give PSG the props. they're showing why they're the defending champions, and yeah, PSG are a strong team to beat, I must say.
Yeah, gentlemen, I just wanna say something about the Liverpool performance. Now, I know when you look at the stats on the scorecard, right, it looked like Liverpool were absolutely blown out of the water. But I feel like the system that Arne Slot employed or used in this particular game, it was a great system. The only problem was that he should have experimented with it before this game
Yeah,
against PSG. You know, and I think if maybe he had done that, then
yeah,
the personnel on the pitch they would have had, or would have been more familiar with what exactly they need to do, how they need to defend when they play in this system, and how they need to attack when they play in this system. Now, if we take everything into account, they were put to the sword, but
yeah,
it's only 2 goals, gentlemen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
at the cup, anything can happen. Liverpool can draw level and even win the game. We've seen them come back from even worse results, if,
was,
if, if that's even a word, than this. You see,
yeah.
so irrespective of maybe what happened at the Parc de France, I still think and feel that this tie is very much alive. Van Roy.
It's not going to be easy. If we can pull a Barcelona off, you know what? I will be very, very happy. I will be very happy. But you must also look at the squad that we have right now versus the squad that we actually had back then. It's not the same team, it's not the same mentality. So it's going to be very tough. It's going to be a mountain to climb for them. But yeah, I really believe that. I would like to believe that, when they come to Enfield, we can change the narrative. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Yeah, no, listen, Van Roy, man, it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. Charlie
Yeah.
Mingus, any closing statements there? Hey, these gremlins, Van Roy. These
Yeah,
gremlins.
it's creeping. It's creeping.
These gremlins, these tokoloshis. Can you see now what's happening? Charlie Mingus I don't know if he's frozen there. What's going on?
Yeah, he is frozen. Let me charge my laptop quickly. It's also gonna die. Just as I don't know. It's we're facing a whole lot of challenges, but it shows you, ne? This is Mzansi. Just hold on. I'm
I'm
now with
telling
you.
you straight up. I'm telling you straight up. Today is crazy, bro. But listen,
Yeah,
let's move on to the Europa League, ne? Because from the Europa League, we saw Aston Villa travel to Bologna and get a
yeah.
3-1 win. Listen, Aston Villa are stepping into Europe like they belong there. I don't know if this is mostly in part of Unai Emery, but the manner in which they are approaching their Europa League games, they are they champions elect?
Yeah, yeah, you know what, ne? They're playing terrific football. They're playing brilliant where they are, ne? I just hope that they can go, to the wire with whoever they're gonna get in the final. And they're showing that they're not here to participate. They're showing that they're here to compete for something, and that's what I like about them. And I just hope that they can keep up that momentum and intensity, and it does not drop. That's all I'm gonna say about them. It's a pang. What do you make of that match of Aston Villa?
No, definitely. Aston Villa is showing that they're not here to participate, they're here to compete. And I don't think we need to doubt the brilliance of their manager, Unai Emery. You know, he deserves all the respect in the world. He has proven that he's an elite coach, and he's showing it in the performance, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And lest we forget that in the Europa League, Unai Emery is one of the most successful coaches or managers that we've seen in this competition. So I think with that said, you know what, Aston Villa will remain one of the most dangerous sides in the competition. And then after
Mhm.
that, we saw Freiburg put 3 goals past Celta de Vigo. Freiburg are 1 foot into the semi-finals. Except Van Roy, are you there? What's going on?
Now I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just charging the laptop quickly. I just had to plug in the charger. Um,
So
but
do you think
but
Freiburg are into the semis, or can Celta de Vigo try and do something in the second leg with a 3 goal
it's
deficit, mind you?
it's not gonna be easy for Celta Vigo. But I think if Freiburg can keep their intensity and just score another 2 goals when they visit them, I think they will pull it off. I think they will advance. They showed professionalism in that match. They were efficient, and at the end of the day, they just got the job done, and that's all that matters.
Ooh, now, gentlemen, we need to close off the Europa League. Charlie Mingas, what's your take? You think Celta de Vigo are gonna make a comeback?
No, I definitely think, Freiburg have have 1 foot in the semi-final. That 3-0 victory was everything for them. And if they fail to qualify for the next round, it will be entirely on them. It'll be their doing, So I don't expect Celta Vigo to come back from that 3-0 defeat.
Yeah, gentlemen, there was a lot of action this week in Europe. Who would you say, was your standout team performance from the games that we saw midweek, gentlemen?
Yeah, you know what, ne? For me, ne, across the board, ne, I'm going to say it was one of two matches. It was the Aston Villa match, and it was the Bayern and Real Madrid match. I think those stood out for me.
And you, Charlie Mingas?
I would say it was the Bayern Munich match against Real Madrid and the Atletico against Barcelona game. That was a really fun game to watch.
And then before we close out on the European segment, gentlemen, I just want us to have a look at the UEFA Champions League Team of the Week. And I just want to get your thoughts on this, gentlemen, because I really don't understand what was the manner in which that they came up with this. Because some of the players or the nominations in this team make no sense to me. Like I was completely baffled by Lamine Yamal being in this team of the week.
Yeah.
And it struck me so hard that I almost didn't even notice that Kai Havertz was even in there. Us.
No, Tibo, I feel as though Lamine Yamal deserved to be. No, you know what? Ne? I'm between a rock and a hard place here because I want to give it to Olise because he got the result at the Bernabeu. But having watched the game, Barcelona against Atletico Madrid, Lamine's performance was amazing. It's just unfortunate that the result was against them, but Manuel Neuer deserves to be here. Kvaratskhelia deserves to be here. Alvarez, So
Okay.
it's not a bad lineup.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry, ne. I'm sorry, ne. I don't wanna be spending too much time on this, but I just need you to help me understand something. How can you say that he deserves to be there, that his performance was this, that, and the third, when they lost 2-0? I mean, it's not like he created a goal or he scored a goal. So, what performance are you talking about? Efandroy, earlier on in the show, this man said Michael Olise was better. Michael Olise, you know what? He was running riot there in the Bernabeu. He even got an assist. Your man's this side, he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
he was diving. Like what's going on?
I think they could have taken out Yamal and they could have given that position to Olise. I mean, what the hell did Kai Havertz do? Like they could have even changed the formation and put Harry Kane in there. I would have been happy with it. But yeah, you know
Exactly.
what? It's not. This was not up to us. But if it was up to us, definitely Yamal would. He wouldn't have been there.
Any closing statement there, Chalmingas?
No, I feel Havertz deserves to be here more than Yamal because he got the winning goal for that Arsenal team, and that 1-0 victory was a crucial victory for them. No, Chibo, hear me out. He scored the winning goal.
Yeah, you know what? Nah? Yeah, I agree with you. He scored the winning goal, nah? But when did he even start the game? Huh? Are we putting him
I
on
don't
there
think so.
because he was a super sub? Huh? I mean, I'm sorry, man. Van Roy, I'm not trying to be a weirdo here, but this is Kai Havertz that we're talking about. You know,
I
you tell
know.
me you want to pick Kai Havertz over Harry Kane? Oh, hey,
Yeah, they
slow
could have
down, man.
given it to Kane, change the
Let's slow
formation, put
down,
Harry
man. What are
Kane.
we doing here? All right, gents, you know what? Let's just leave this and move on to the flops and props of the week because it has been an eventful week indeed. Now, without any waste of time, we have Barcelona kicking things off as they protested the drama on the pitch. So much so that they even filed a complaint to UEFA about the dubious refereeing. I don't know which game they were watching, but you know what? It is yet to be seen. Now, the second nomination is AC Milan because their title hopes are officially done after succumbing to defeat against Napoli. And last but not least, Sporting Club Portugal, they left it late. They were in the game and they let Kai Havertz out of nowhere at the death win it. Van Roy, who's your number
Yeah,
one?
my flop of the week is AC Milan. I think if you sitting pretty on at the top, ne, and you don't keep on applying pressure, like trying to create a even bigger gap at the top, ne, it's definitely it's gonna catch up with you, and that's what happened with them. So my flop of the week is definitely AC Milan.
You, Charlie Mingas?
My flop of the week is Sporting, Sporting Club. I feel like them dropping or letting Arsenal score in the last minute of the game, uh, it was a crushing defeat, because if they had gotten a draw, they would go to the Arsenal stadium with much more higher hopes of actually winning the game. But now odds are stacked against them, especially playing an Arsenal team that is in form at their home stadium. So that's my flop of the week.
No, gentlemen, it has been documented who your flops and who your flop of the week has been. Me, just to close this part, I'm definitely giving it to Barcelona, mostly because they are not used to clear cut, straight officiating. They are used to getting away with murder in La Liga,
Pride.
with absolute murder in La Liga. And then they get to the Champions League, they think that they're going to get the same treatment. Doesn't work like that. Now,
Yeah,
our
sure.
props of the week, gentlemen, the first nomination, without a shadow of a doubt, has to go to Manuel Neuer for turning back the clock and putting on a consummate professional performance at the Santiago Bernabeu. Our second nomination is Atletico Madrid, once again dominating Barcelona in the Champions League. And our last nomination, gentlemen, is the five-star Orlando Pirates, who keep
Sure.
the Betway Premiership title race alive. Van
Yeah.
Roy,
I'm giving it to the homeboys, Pirates, brah. That performance, that shows that they have that title winning mentality, and they sent a message. You know what? It's not about the money; it's about sending a message.
yes, sir. Emingas.
No, I definitely agree with Roy. I have to give it to Orlando Pirates for a 5-star performance, and they definitely sent a message that they're not here to participate; they're here to compete. You know.
Wonderful gentlemen. I don't know about y'all, but me, my prop of the week, it's definitely going to Atletico Madrid. You know, this is no biased behavior or any rivalry between me and Lebs. But I think I really feel like Atletico Madrid this season are dangerous again. Atletico they put on these types of performances, once every 3 years or so, and we've already seen Atletico Madrid defeat Barcelona heavily this season. But to go to the Camp Nou, get a 2-0 win, and keep a clean sheet in the Champions League. I mean, they just showed that, under Diego Simeone they are just a different type of animal, because each time that they drew Barcelona in the knockout stages, they took them out and went on to go to the Champions League final to play against Real Madrid. So, if anybody needed a hint, you know, of
It's
what's
that.
gonna happen in this season Champions League, I think I just gave it to you all there. But gentlemen, just to close an amazing show, ne? I just want to say thank you, to Van Roy, to Charlie Mingas, for joining us and giving another spectacular show. The international break tried to take the juice out of our show, but listen, we will not allow such, because now we're heading into the penultimate stage of the football on the
Yeah.
eve of the World Cup. And just like that, football reminds us why we love it: goals, drama, passion. And this is
Yeah.
just the beginning as we head into the business end of the season. Yeah, from me to Lava Ultra featuring Panroy, featuring Charlie Mingas.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Panroy. Any closing
Yeah. So
statement?
So basically, we'll see you guys next time, which is on Monday. We bring the same energy, we bring bigger moments. I can't wait for this weekend's football. It's starting tonight. And yeah, guys, be safe and enjoy.
Hey, Mingas.
How is Tiwa? No, I have to say it was a wonderful show. I have no closing statement, but I just want to tell the subscribers and supporters to like, comment, and share until we meet again.
Thank you, my chance. Thank you, my chance. Thank you, my chance.